President Trump announcing plans to impose a 5% tariff on all Mexican imports. That would happen starting June 10th and would proceed potentially to a 25% tariff. Let's break down what it means for the economy and what average Americans actually think about tariffs. Steve Liesman is here to talk about that.
Yeah, a couple of different things we're going to draw from here, Becky. As of roughly 7:30 last night, economists, investors, U.S. companies, and consumers have the effects of a new tariff to look into their outlook, and the initial reactions are not positive. Chris Rupke, MUFG, says if you're going to turn the world upside down, you're going to turn the economy upside down. Evercore, Krishna Guha writes, Trump trade policy might well mean a permanent state of endemic uncertainty and instability in the global trading system. What are we talking about here? We're talking about cars. $93 billion of cars imported from Mexico, $27 billion of computers, this according to Goldman Sachs that wrote a report on this in the late hours of the evening, $17 billion of other electric equipment, crude oil, equipment, and veggies. $15 billion of vegetables. U.S. imports to Mexico total $347 billion. So put the full 25% in tariffs on it would equal $87 billion, assuming no exemption. So what is that? That would more than surpass the $72 billion in estimated tax revenue from all of the president's other tariffs. So what do we do? 70 and 80 is 150. We do $260 billion of corporate profit income tax. So that's $150 billion from revenue. Kevin Brady's getting his border adjustment tax. Meanwhile, the CNBC All-America survey finds a lack of support for the president's trade tactics. Here are the things that are out there. Take a look at the results of our survey of 800 Americans taken in the past week. 43% disapprove of how he handles trade. 50% disapprove of how he handles border security and immigration. 45% disapprove of how he handles U.S.-China relations. We did not put Mexico in this context on it. It wasn't out there. However, his overall economic and job approval rating remain pretty stable here. In fact, one of our pollsters, the Republican pollster, calls Trump's approval rating one of the most stable forces in the universe. Everything happens, goes up, goes down, and this doesn't change. 48% approval. You had a little bump before when the economy was running red hot last summer. 48% approval on his economic approval. 40% overall job approval. Nothing changed. I will say that it was interesting to see Republicans support this president. 82% supported the president. When we ask about tariffs, that number drops to 53%. So it is not all that popular among self-described Republicans.
No, even Senator Grassley making some comments
about that. It'll be interesting to see how that plays politically, domestically, as well as what impact it has. I don't think, though, no indication here that it's a voting issue. No. It's not abortion. It's not the Supreme Court. It's not, it's not taxes yet.
And if the tariffs went too long, where they don't say, okay, do it as long as you need, just make sure it's not permanent. If it becomes clear that it's going to stay for a while, the 82 will start going down.
Right.
The 53 and the 82 will meet somewhere.
Right.
At this point, they're still sort of saying, look, I still support them, but I don't like these tariffs, but I want them off.
That's right. And people make that discussion in our poll, Joe, which I think is fascinating.
So these are...
Oh, sorry, there's one more factoid.
But these are athletes that are between... Are they out of school and ready to go into the workforce with a professional team, the All-Americans? Or are they...
It's so
isn't
comforting.
it June? It's June.
It's like a sunny,
How do you
rainy
find them
day.
when they've... How do you find them when they've left?
When you make jokes that you've made
How
for
do they
so long.
find the athletes when they've left school
We
already?
have a
He
heart
polls
public
all
opinion
Americans.
strategies.
I don't know why he cares about the athletes.
And what they think. Because usually they're very funny. They've never heard of Ben Bernanke.
Can I just say that we changed the poll name? That's why we made this poll called All America.
All Americans.
Because people thought we were only asking
athletes.
rich people.
Oh, rich people.
Like CNBC poll,
they are
only
rich.
talking to rich people
you
and
see
investors.
The contracts they're getting, first-year
The
contracts,
ones that
in the NFL,
even
and
in
the
college,
NBA.
they're getting some revenue.
That's what I'm talking about. They are rich.